In the grand theater of markets, where billions rise and vanish in silence, the most difficult act is not the entry, it's the exit. Anyone can buy a stock, but few can walk away at the right time. Warren Buffett once said, "The stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient." And in that sentence lies the difference between speculation and mastery. Most traders are trapped in a loop, buying from excitement, selling from fear. They chase noise, they react to headlines, they confuse movement with progress. But Buffett's genius was silence. He understood that real power in markets comes not from prediction, but from restraint. Where others tried to time the top, Buffett studied value. He never asked, "When will it go up?" He asked, "Would I own this business if the market closed for 10 years? That question, simple yet lethal, kills greed at its root. Because when you think like an owner, you stop thinking like a gambler. The average trader wants excitement. Buffett wants endurance. He knows that success in the market is not about making the most. It's about keeping what you make. When fear takes over the crowd, he buys. When greed floods the streets, he sells. Not because he's lucky, but because he's disciplined. He once said, "Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful." Those words are not advice, they're a philosophy of survival. The art of the exit is the art of detachment. It's knowing that no profit is real until it's protected. It's understanding that your ego is your biggest losing position. Buffett mastered what most never will, the ability to wait, and the courage to walk away. In the end, markets don't reward the smartest. They reward the most disciplined, because intelligence builds wealth, but patience keeps it. But the secret of Warren Buffett doesn't end with the exit. Because what truly separates him is not just when he sells, but why he buys. While the world searches for the next big thing, Buffett searches for something far rarer: clarity. He studies companies the way a scientist studies nature, with patience, with respect, and with the understanding that value reveals itself slowly. He doesn't chase markets, he waits for markets to come to him. To Buffett, every crash is a test, a moment when the impatient run and the prepared get rich. He once said, "The stock market is designed to transfer wealth from the active to the patient." And through decades of panic, bubbles, and euphoria, he proved it over and over again. When others screamed, he stayed silent. When the world sold in fear, he wrote checks. Not because he loved risk, but because he understood human nature. He knew that fear is temporary, but value endures. Most people trade to feel something. Buffett invests to feel nothing. No adrenaline, no noise, just logic, patience, and compounding. He often says, "You can't produce a baby in 1 month by getting 9 women pregnant." Because real growth, the kind that lasts, takes time. He buys businesses, not tickers. He looks for trust, for simplicity, for managers who treat every dollar as if it were their own. To Buffett, a company is not a lottery ticket. It's a partnership. And partnerships require faith, not excitement. Together with Charlie Munger, he built not just an empire, but a philosophy. Munger called it worldly wisdom, a mindset built from psychology, mathematics, history, and above all, self-control. Because to them, the biggest edge in markets isn't information, it's temperament. You can know every chart, every ratio, every signal, and still lose everything if you can't control yourself. Buffett's true genius was never predicting the market, it was mastering his own emotions. He knows that wealth built slowly lasts, and wealth built emotionally vanishes. Time is the greatest ally of the disciplined mind, and the deadliest enemy of the restless one. Buffett turned patience into a competitive advantage. He turned boredom into a strategy. And he turned simplicity into a weapon. In a world obsessed with speed, he chose slowness. In a market built on noise, he chose silence. And that silence made him one of the richest men in human history. But the final lesson isn't about money. It's about time. Because Buffett never measured success in dollars, but in freedom. The freedom to think, to choose, to wait,